Alright, so this would have been the nurses' apartments. Now, I mean, you can tell the difference in the living style compared to the doctors.
Yeah.
There would be 4 nurses in this apartment. There would be 2 to each bedroom. They'd share one large closet, all 4 of them. One from each room would be on day shift. One from each room would be on evening, so they'd have time to have the room to themselves. There's 4 apartments here, 1 here, 1 there, and then 2 in the back. So, real common to have the smell of flowers or perfume up here. We get reports of hearing a woman's voice in here constantly. This door in the middle that you saw that goes back to those 2 apartments is the door that slammed in my face.
Okay.
We've stood here many, many times and been like, yo, can you close the door? And they'll slam the door for you. So, real common to walk by and see that. This closet looking thing right here, if you actually look at that, it used to be a door. Like, why would you have a window on top of a closet? There's still hinges on the sides. And I've been trying to let them have them let me knock that wall down because I'm really curious as to what's behind it. They won't let me do it. So, but I mean, something's cleaned it. Right? Top, I showed you all the projection room. There's the lights on the wall there, the holes that you saw there. All right, so of course, once again, the man in the pinstripe suit in here. Orbs, different colors, looks like they're dancing. One night I brought a group in here and they're like, if there's someone in here, can you make a noise? And from this corner over here, there was a knocking. And we were like, can you do it again? It knocked. We were like, can you do it again? It knocked. And we were like, knock twice. And it knocked twice. So sometimes they'll answer you in those ways as well. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, I mentioned that the doctors and the nurses and everything, they'd live here with their entire families. Well, the doctors, they'd have their daughters or their sons or whatever they had here with them. And, of course, they were well off. And they'd have all of the town's social events here, prom, homecoming, any main event of town would have been held in this auditorium. So one day on day shift, one of the doctor's daughters got put on suicide watch. And they had a dance that evening. Well, on shift change, they get ready to do everything, and they get the dance ready, and the daughter got dressed up in her outfit to come to the dance. And she comes in here, and the evening shift didn't know she was on suicide watch. So they let her leave, and she went to town and got some lighter fluid and came back and doused herself and killed herself right here in this room. Burned to death right on the floor. And so I have people come in and sit on the stage up here and use the dowsing rods and communicate with her through that.
We're going towards C. This is geriatrics.
All right, the patient, there's 2 patients. One put his knees on the other one's chest and ended up suffocating him. And when he was asked why he did it, he told the staff that the patient was stealing his oxygen. Now, the guy that killed this patient was also involved in the murder down the hallway at our most famous murder room. I'm not sure what his name was, but I do know that guy did die here. This murder and murder down the hall. So he's probably still here with us. If you start to feel uneasy in here, you start to feel sick. It's not uncommon. It's very common walking in this room to have something attach itself to you. I highly recommend it by anyone from a doctor all the way down to the janitor.
Wow.
And you could be locked in for any reason. If you overheard a nurse saying that she was going to do something she wasn't supposed to do, she'd originally put you in here. She might even chain you to the wall because there's a hook in the next one over there where they chain the patients up. And she'd shut this and tell you that she wasn't going to let you out until you learned to keep your mouth shut. And then if you wouldn't shut up, then she'd shut this. And if she'd leave for a week to go on vacation, you stayed there for a week until she came back to let you out. An evil spirit's in there and never to open it. When Ghost Adventurers came, they pried it open and locked one of their guys in there. So we actually locked it back just because we felt safer like that. When it was actually up and running. He'll do paranormal tours occasionally. He has very emotional sessions in there because he was good friends with Dean. The patient that was involved in the murder down the hall was also involved in this murder, him and another man. The other man that participated in murdering this patient is actually still alive in a new hospital. But what they did was they took the after bed check. They took their bed sheets and tied them together and wrapped them around the guy's neck and hung him from these poles. And they pulled him up until he was about ready to pass out, and then they let him down. And then they kept doing that over and over and over. And when they realized that they were going to get in trouble for this anyways, they took him and laid him on the ground and put the bedpost on the front of his face and got on the bed and jumped up and down until it went to his skull. Dean is still here. Dean doesn't talk to a whole lot of us. I know that he doesn't like Copperhead. He doesn't care much for me. But yeah, we do actually have some sessions in here. I've seen people who really do K2 sessions in here. The next
We're heading back. And back down the steps. Sounds like everybody else is finished too. This is one of the first feeding chairs. Well, I don't know if we got a whole lot on film, but we sure had a good time. Now that we're in the daylight, what did you think about last night? Do you believe in ghosts? Are you a skeptic, or do you have an open mind? Anyway, it was a fun tour. Here's the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in the daylight. It's a huge building. And it's right in town. Hope you'll join us next time when we go off the trails for another adventure.